ain't going back. Not gonna buy into all that. Hey, hey, ain't gonna hide. Gonna let all the fears slide. Got mother nature, it's on my side. Got a whole of the love and glow.
Hello, everyone. I'm Lorenzo from the Alex. Nice talking to Cambell again. We're going to spiral our way up, I guess, through our attempts at autodidacticity,
Didacticity, yes.
self-teaching, the ways we go about doing things. I think it's all connected, really. If we're going to go back to the attack on masculinity, it's like as a maybe I'll put this out there right now. I think one of man's initial feelings as they grow up, and especially as they get a family or they become responsible for, one or two or 12 or 1,200, if they're, leading a small community or whatever, is the ability to provide happy, healthy, and, abundant, nutritious, an environment, right, for growth of whatever. It could just be you, could be you and your wife or your girlfriend, or it could be you could have 78 kids, or you can have whatever, 72 grandkids. But I think what it comes down to is an attack on your ability to provide a safe environment, let's say, for life, perhaps, because now I want to tie that back into the what you just mentioned, the monetary aspects of being messed about by a company like YouTube, which it kind of goes down to the fact, why are they there? People don't ask, I think, the deeper questions.
Yeah.
Like, why is YouTube there? Why is it the way it is? Why does it suddenly have 70,000 commercials? Why is it kind of the new TV? Why has everyone been directed to put all of their energy and passions and even entertainment into one area that's easily watched by whoever set up YouTube, right? Obviously, and then why? It's always the most important thing. So,
Yeah.
how would you like to approach our chat on masculinity and the attack therein?
The attack,
Into
yeah. I mean, clearly we're being, both. Let's just put it out there. It's not just males; it's females as well. It's basically biological sexes that are being attacked, and the family. If you're a natural born person, the rhetoric is you're the enemy. If you can be a man and a woman that can make a baby, now suddenly you're evil. You're supposed to have purple hair and skinny jeans, right? And walk around spruiking hate at people, which of course is a big part of it is, and like you sort of alluded to, is, all these companies and all this thing we have, Google and YouTube, and of course it came from television. In the end, it's all programming, and it's all there to control us and to control the narrative of what we believe. And so what they've done is they've taken away the narrative of what a real man is. And we're just going to focus on men for this. We both happen to be males, but I'd definitely like to talk to some females about it too. But basically, I would say that, it's just everything to do with being a man, standing for yourself, standing in your power, being a provider, making your own decisions, little things like having your own land and house that you don't have to worry about some, mafia squad coming and taking away from you for this fake money stuff, which really is a trap. That's how they sort of keep us in the system. If you go out there, it's going to be so hard. It's going to be so hard. But it's really, how do I say this? The main attack is the whole viewpoint of masculinity is now being viewed as the enemy and as hate and as something we need to get rid of. And I look around, we can see, the young adults and children that have been produced in the last, decade or two from this kind of programming, because it's been in the universities for decades. I started noticing it back in the 90s, and I sort of didn't really, catch on to what they were doing. But now it's just so obvious looking back that, they just chip away. They just chip away, take little bits away. And as long as we agree and we fall into line with what they're trying to tell us, they go, awesome. Now we'll take a bit more away. And of course, look what's happening right now.
I think really what if people, obviously we have a different viewership than the standard audience that mainstream has, your channels, my channel, and
Yep.
a lot of the people that we talk to and share with. And I guess it's information and understanding that can never be fucked with, if you pardon my language. And that, if someone goes deep enough to figure out, why we're here, what we're going to do, what we can do, the basis of even our energetic differences as men and women, not what we're told in the mainstream, not the comparisons that are given to us, like monetary comparisons is usually what they use, right? You can be equal, you can also earn money, you can be equal, you can also vote, you can be equal, you can also be in charge of a company or whatever. And they're all like kind of surface nonsense for men and women, in my opinion. We know money is bullshit. A company or a corporation is not real, it's a dead entity. Equality of lifting a heavy weight is what it is, who cares? The equality of making choices is also something that makes no sense, in that whoever makes a better decision in regards to a problem that's sitting in front of you is who should have the final say. If it's about the intelligence of keeping children safe, it might be a man. If it's the intelligence of nurturing a child through what they eat and their clothing, it might be a woman. It could be vice versa. But it's always when they bring things to the surface of, it's obvious equality is an interestingly strange bastardized word that doesn't mean anything unless you're looking at 2 pounds in weight or 2 kilos in weight, or you're looking at the equivalent of 4 chickens and you have another 4 chickens. Sure, you can say those are an equal number of chickens. That's fine. But when you get to the definition of things like equality of choice, equality of opportunity, equality of monetary earnings, that's all garbage from word one. To be perfectly honest, I used to compare myself to people making more money or less money, or men that were taller, for example, or men that I thought were handsomer at the time, or faster, or better at sports. And I was very, very sad growing up in many ways, due to the nature of that kind of a comparison system that was put on me a long time ago, before they were attacking men and women. And you grow up and you realize, hey, a good man does this, and a good woman is like this, and a good system of growing your own abundance is this. And it really doesn't have anything to do with these comparisons that are put on our heads from a very young age, right? And then have you doubting yourself, right? And have you doubting your choices. We're not even going to get into the energetic differences between men and women, things that don't, besides the obvious physical attributes that are different, regardless of some of the shows I've been watching recently, like watching American Gods, where he goes, I was born a boy. They told me I was a boy and they were wrong. And I'm going, you're looking at that going, what? You're a boy, but you can feel when they poo in your head, though, once you start making these intelligent choices for yourself. And you're not a victim to it any longer, right? Because, I heard that just this week, and I'm going, maybe I'll stop watching this show, because I like the fiction behind it, and it's nice and entertaining. But do I like when they come up to my dinner plate and drop a turd in my soup? Not really. You go to a restaurant and they give you a good soup, and then the chef comes over halfway through and like I said, throws a dead fly in it. It's kind of going to change your perspective eating there again, right?
And this is what they do, isn't it, with this whole gaslighting that's just out of control at the moment, is because humans, men and women, we're emotional beings. We get attached to things emotionally. We want to be good, we want to help, we want to be on the side of good. We don't want to be the bad guy, so they pull us in. Oh, look, we need to be more equal, we need to accept everyone, we need to do all this, it'll be so nice. Oh, and by the way, if you don't accept the way that I'm going to live, and that I'm going to walk down the street with all my bits hanging out, well, you are evil and you're the hater. The main thing about this whole, just to touch on the whole 57 genders, let's call it that, apart from the fact that they don't exist, this is all this is an attack on nature. You think about what the agenda they're pushing is. It's like I said before, if you're a natural man and woman that can create a baby, that can create life, you're the bad guy. And what are they promoting? All these different genders, in inverted brackets, that can't procreate. And of course, out of that, you get this whole rhetoric then starts coming out of, oh, we don't need children. Oh, children are bad. Oh, hey, abortion. Let's abort them at 9 months old. As long as they haven't popped out, it's not murder. And this is what they're pushing. And they're pushing this agenda on young females as not as feminism, but as empowering feminism. you're so powerful now, women, that you can kill your own children. Like that's literally what, and people believe this. And it's the same, this is how they're getting into everything. They're just changing our beliefs of what a man and a woman is. So as far as a man, now you've got all these restraints. You can't go out and stand in your power and speak your mind and say, that's wrong. That's not coming near my house. That's not coming into my family. It's wrong. You can't say that anymore. You'll get attacked, to the point where someone came out and said super straight. Have you heard of super straight? Because of all this gender thing, and what they're trying to push is, if straight males, this is, the 57 genders, they're saying if you're a straight male and you will not date a transgender, that is a dude who's cut his willy off, then you are hateful. It's your problem, Lorenzo. How dare you not be into trannies? And so someone came out and said, well, stuff that, guess what? I'm super straight. Now there's a 58th gender. I'm super straight, which means I only am interested in women that were born biological women. Now that dude put that up on Twitter. Within 4 hours, his mother was getting death threats.
Yeah, but I agree. I mean, it's beyond insane, right? It's gotten to the point where they need to make new words for how crazy it is. But kind of like, I guess in Britain, where they wanted to just have stay home for the men late at night, or curfews for just men. I don't know how that's come about. I hear bits and pieces. Supposedly it was in Britain and or somewhere else where some of the politicians, because some guy went out and did something or other to some lady, I don't know, that they were talking about just curfews for just men, so the women feel safe.
Yeah, because we're the enemy. Yeah.
So I mean, look, eventually you got to look, like you're looking at a pool and you go, okay, the pool's full of crap. I figured more, I've been looking at things very differently over the last few weeks. I figured the more insane they're getting, the better it is for us.
Oh, yeah.
Personally, because eventually you look at that and you go, wow, they're crazy. They're so crazy. They've gone even further off the deep end. And what are you going to do about that other than never listen to them and make your own way in life? I mean, I can only talk for myself. It's like, it used to make me crazy, what they're doing to women, the obvious bodily changes in most of the femininity. Let's leave it at that before I get attacked. When I first moved to Japan 10 years ago, 98% of the people were thin. Now it's 50-50. Like,
oh, really?
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, wow.
Over a few years. Like, I remember my wife was very skinny. She went to buy a shirt, medium. Right, so she's putting it on, and I go, looks like it's for pregnant ladies, right?
Oh yeah, right.
And then you look in the label, it says medium, oversized.
Can't make me lie to my heart. No one tells me where I should start. Freedom